Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in and check out your boy, P Fong. Thinking right out here in the lab. I do what I do for you. I got a nice lesson for you today, finishing up on the basic daily schedule of spiritual practice. It's going to be a good lesson for you. Give you a breakdown on how to organize and structure your meditation and your yoga practice time. Let's talk about it. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. I give you life lessons. You tune into receiving them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right Thinker's mission, and I'm on it, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right Thinker's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline, practice, daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. So I ask the question, do you know you? It's rhetorical, but if you had an answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. Yeah, that's what I do. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm your spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself and to my yacht, be true. Again, let's talk about the basic daily schedule of spiritual practice. This is a breakdown. It's about 10 of them. Okay, the 10 rules of basic schedule of spiritual practice. There you go. Number one, first thing is deep breathing. Using the proper breathing technique. At the end, I got a little paragraph about breathing technique for you also. Wrap it up with that. Number two, was the 1B. I was 1A, 1B. Excuse me. Alternate your breathing exercise. Averaged about 10 minutes in the AM and 10 minutes in the PM. If you can't set aside 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the evening to take care of you, that says a lot about you. But this is the program. All you have to do, follow it, put it in motion. Number two, 10 to 30 minutes in the AM and the PM. Now, I'm not praying that long. It don't take me no 20, 30 minutes to pray. A few minutes at best for me praying. I spend most of my time meditating, so I will compensate that other few minutes. I pray and then I meditate. I meditate a lot longer than I pray. Moving on. Anybody praying for 30 minutes? Well, that's my pastor. He's good at that. That's his thing. But 2 times a day. That's all. And it's for you. It's everything here is for you. Number 3, exercise. 10 minutes in the AM before study time. Now, 10 minutes of exercise ain't enough time. I would take the 10 minutes to pray before I do exercise 10 minutes. I'll flip that around a little bit. My schedule a little different. I'm going off of theirs, but I'll flip mine around a little bit when it comes to the time. In a half hour praying with too much time, but 10 minutes of exercise, not enough time, so I flip it. At least a half hour of exercise, 10 minutes of praying time. Your choice. Repetition of what? The divine name. I call him my old man. Okay? You pick the God of your choice, and that's the name you call out, in the form of what? Your chosen Heka mantra. Heka is words of power. Mantra is word of inspiration for yourself, what you go by. I do what I do for you is like my mantra. But Heka, words of power. Speaking or praying something into existence. 10 minutes in the AM and 10 minutes in the PM, twice a day. You hear some people 3 times a day praying, 5 times a day praying. You can pray 100 times a day. That's your choice. But if you ain't putting the work in, your prayers ain't going to be answered anyway. It ain't about how much you pray, how many times you pray a day. It's how much good work, how much good deeds you put in, how many selfish service that you offer during the day. Let's go down the list. Watch this. And if you practice these things, they will work. Trust me. Number 5, meditation time. Practice 10 minutes in the AM should be practiced, and after exercise and before prayer and repetition of the divine name. You keep God in your mouth. You keep the concept of God, speaking it, thinking it, meditating on it. That's how you and God become one. Number 6, study of the teachings. Reading 30 minutes a day. I spend more time reading, but if you can get a few pages in of information that you can actually put to use, that's a plus. And if you do it daily, you'd be surprised how much knowledge you can accumulate if you constantly do it. I do it every day. So the constant flow of information, the constant knowledge growth, I'm constantly growing in knowledge daily. That's the secret. That's the key. Some people, I ain't got to do that today. I did it yesterday. Okay, but again, routine meant to be done daily. And silence, right there. Now, silence and meditation time goes together. Prayer, and you're talking to God, so that ain't silence time. But if you could shut up for 30 minutes a day, that's time you spending what? Within yourself. Ain't talking to nobody but yourself. That's the meditation time. When you set that kind of time out, you start seeing yourself not doing certain things. Why? You starting to weed out the stuff that you don't need. That's the purpose. That's the reason behind it. Number 8, listening to the teachings and then implementing them. And you choose, if you want to, an audio recording of the yogic spiritual preceptor, and you listen for what? The minimum 30 minutes. Okay? My lesson's less than 30 minutes, so you can get the lesson in with me and take care of that problem right there. 30 minutes per day without any distractions, if possible. Again, if possible, work it in your schedule. Now, if possible, what? Go to a yoga spiritual center, group gathering. They call them ashrams, wats, or temples. We call them churches, mosques, synagogue, same thing. Place of worship, okay? Where teachings, in them places, they should offer teachings where the teachings are presented by what? A qualified teacher. Ding, 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 ding. Of what? Yoga, wisdom, right thing, philosophy. A master teacher. If this is not possible, okay. But now you got to personally form what? A study group, if possible, wherein the teachings may now be discussed and explored in a group environment. Find somebody like-minded. If you're growing spiritually, you're not going to have many friends. That's why you guys find some like-minded people. It ain't easy. Number 9. This is my favorite. Selfless service is you just doing something for somebody else for no fee or reward for doing something. No, you're just doing it because it's the right thing to do. It's selfless. You're doing it for somebody else. Now, selfless service is required. What? Whenever the opportunity presents itself. I just laugh with my sister saying, every time I go out and about, I'm the automatic doorman. Well, I hold the door for everybody. And don't hurt to hold the door for somebody else. They say thank you, simple stuff like that. Those are just little stuff, okay? Number 10. This is one of my favorites also. Daily reflection. If you're not checking yourself daily, you might not be on track. Why? Who's going to check you? You should be the one checking you. But remembering what? The teachings, doing what? The ordinary course of the day. And applying the teachings. You apply them in what? Your daily living situations. To practice yoga philosophy, you have to use it. In any situation, use the yoga that suits you best. Use the yoga that suits that situation. That's what you got it for. To be practiced as much as possible until when mastered. And you will continue to practice. You just got it down pat. Mastery meaning you got it. It's cool. Training means you still practicing. I'm a master of my philosophy. I'm a student of life. Why? I'm still learning every day. That's why. And I do get my lessons in. The suggested times that they gave here earlier are what we consider the minimum amount of time that you should spend on your daily practice of spiritual practices of yoga. When daily, whenever possible, you should increase the time according to what? Your schedule or your capacity or your ability to acquire and learn. Some people learn faster than others. According to what you do, that's how you move. But you should train your brain, your mind, so that it rejoices in what? In hearing about practicing the teachings of yoga instead of that useless worldly activities, what I call bad information, misinformation, a bunch of information. All information ain't good information. Your discernment have to be better when you can hear the truth. You gotta have your ears open to hear the truth. I can tell the difference between somebody lying or telling me the truth real quick. And if you follow this path daily, gradually, but steadily, you will prosper. You will grow. And that's the important part. How much you grow, how far you go is up to you. You got total control over that also. Now, excuse me. Once you have established a schedule that you formulate for a while, it's going to take a little while till you fix it and get it the way you want it. But once you get to formulating the schedule, minimum time to devote what? Your practice, even if you do at least at the minimum 5 to 10 minutes of your meditation time per day. And nothing else should keep, if nothing else, try to maintain and keep your schedule if at all possible. Why? Many people feel that they do not have the time to incorporate even ordinary activities into their lives. If something's more important than you bettering yourself, know what it is. So that's your decision, okay? But they feel overwhelmed. I got so much stuff going on. No, that's because you're too busy all over the damn place. And again, worrying about everything and knowing about everything except you don't help you one bit. So if you feel overwhelmed with life and you feel that you have no control over nothing, you don't. Why? You got too many eyes, too many stuff going on. You ain't controlling nothing. Willy-nilly, all over the place. But if there is no control, it is what? Because you have no spiritual or self-discipline. That's the purpose of the program. That's the purpose of setting up the routine. That's the purpose of having a schedule to take care of those problems. If you make the schedule for all of your activities, spiritual and non-spiritual, and you keep it tenaciously, meaning you make sure you hold yourself accountable to do that. At one time, getting up 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, going to the gym was a little stringent. Now it's automatic. It's just, if I don't do it, something's wrong. See the difference? Well, and now if you do that, you will discover what? That now you can actually control your time in your life. You start to take control of the events and circumstances that you actually got control over. As you discover the glory of spiritual practice, getting better at it, life changing, you starting to see for yourself, oh, this is good. You will find what? Even more time to what? Expand your mind. Because it's starting to get good. You're starting to get some benefits. You're starting to see the progress. And you start to get good at what you're doing that you wasn't good in the beginning at. And that's what you call having a spiritual program. You have to control that. Ultimately, what? You will create what? A lifestyle which is eternally what? Spiritualized. I call it being spiritually disciplined, having God conscious. I call it Christ consciousness, spiritual enlightenment, anointing, Christhood, whatever. But you have to reach it. What the name of it, what they call it, don't mean much. You can call it what you want when you get there. How about that? This, wrapping it up, means that every act in your life will be based on what? Wisdom teachings of Maya. When you practice and live Maya, and therefore you will what? Will not spend a particular time of day devoted to spiritual practices, but what? Every facet of your day will become a spontaneous worship of the divine. I don't have to call on God when something go wrong. I'm with God. When something go wrong, he already knows. He's right there with me. That's my concept. That's my lesson. I got to go. Hope you enjoyed it. Trying to make it quick but informative. So, right thinkers, in closing, may you all let it be 100, me, 100 minus a day. So I never know that my right thinkers have passed away. Practice right living.